What's up, guys? I gotta fix this thingy-majigger here. Oh, and I probably should turn on my camera so you guys can see me. Hey, look at BBBY with a nice little morning star here. I apparently have to turn the sprinklers off. Hold on one second, you guys. I didn't know the sprinklers were on. Hold up, I gotta go turn off my sprinklers and then I'll be ready to go. I didn't know they were on. Alright, we're back. What's up, guys? Sorry about that. I have people working in my backyard and the sprinklers were on while they were doing their work, so that's not good. What's up? I feel like I'm half asleep right now. Oh, alright, let me get this chat over here so I can see you guys, what you're talking about. Did you guys hear about that stablecoin stuff in California? I just literally heard about it. I don't even know what it means. Something about California is considering outlawing stablecoins if they're not issued by a bank. That's dumb as hell. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I can't believe that. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's going to happen, but that's just stupid. Like, all right, we'll just make our own new stablecoin that's private, right? Like, what are they going to keep doing? That's just weird, though. Like, you guys can't hold stable coins. You can only hold crypto. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know. I literally just saw something about it on Twitter. Hold on. Let's see if I can find the news. Maybe it's BS. Yeah, I can see it now. Let me see. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, this was from last night. Oh, a new crypto bill. This is okay. A new crypto bill would prohibit the use of stablecoins unless they're issued by a bank. So it's probably bullshit. I thought it was new. It popped up on my feed when I was in the BingX account this morning. But it's 12 hours old. I thought it was like brand new this morning, but anyway, it's probably nothing. But what the hell? Why would you prohibit use of stablecoins unless they're issued by a bank? Why would banks have control over stablecoins? Like, what? Doesn't even make any sense. Anyway, yeah, good win for Arsenal last night. That was sweet. 5-0 is pretty amazing. 4 times ever. People are like hating on Arsenal right now. Like, oh, quit celebrating. It's beginning of the season. It's like, and we're celebrating wins. Everyone celebrates their wins. I don't get it. You're gonna be happy when your team wins. We're not like Arsenal fans aren't celebrating the Premier League right now, you guys. They're literally just celebrating wins, like any team would do. So I don't get it. Somebody said, notice how California's flag is a bear. Coincidence? That's pretty funny. That's a good one. All right, you guys. Here's the deal. Bitcoin is a choppy piece of shit right now. That's my analysis on that. I mean, this was really clean price action to an extent. It's pretty just annoyingly choppy. Anyway, like when you break down here, you should retest and just break down. Like that's just what should happen. But instead it decided to go sideways for a week and then break down and now go sideways for a week again. So is Bitcoin ideal to trade right now? No, not really. I have not been trading Bitcoin very often lately because it's been a complete piece of shit. Now, of course, low time frames, every once in a while you're going to have a setup, but I mean, again, you guys, and I always talk about this, all this volatility, once the volatility goes away, then you go to chop and everyone gets chopped up, okay? And then this is where all the people that just got chopped up go short and they get wrecked. But like we had some nice volatility here that I traded. When was this? Earlier this week, and then I kind of gave up because, and it's just gone into a massive chop now. I don't like trading this price action. I'm definitely not going to chase a short after chop into the base here. Like that doesn't even make sense, right? So, I mean, at these, it's like these point in times where you just shouldn't even be looking at the chart really. Like there's no reason to even hardly look. Like why don't I just set like alerts and go, all right, well, it'd be pretty important if this broke down, right? So I could set an alert here, and then it'd be pretty important if this high volume breakdown was reclaimed, so I could set an alert here and call it good. Because if this flips, it's likely to at least push up a little bit higher to like sweep these highs. If this flips, you know, you get into the bullshit where it could do this, but most likely after this long of a consolidation, if this flips, it has a chance to go a little bit lower. So, you know, it's just not worth watching right now. You could look at small coins maybe. Like Litecoin stands out to me because it's green today. Oh shit, wrong button. But again, it's mostly just chop. Atom is green today. Possibly a good short coming up maybe. You know, we have maybe a diamond pattern here. Diamond type pattern. This could be a diamond top to watch out for. Okay, so here would be a really, like you could try to short here. It could work because, you know, you've got this resistance retest. It could go as high if if this wants to retest resistance, it could go as high to the top here at like $13, and then that could still be valid. Now, if it flipped over $13, we'd have a nice little pop up there. How's our OBV looking? OBV's looking pretty mediocre. Large upward spike, resiliency for here, and it's just sideways. But price action wise, this is a pretty hefty breakdown. And it's a high volume area too. Look at how yeah, you guys see what I'm saying? Look at how high volume this is. It's a breakdown. I mean, like, if you wanted to get into a short now, it'd look something like this. And, you know, you'd probably target this first sweep area here. We don't have a true breakdown of trend yet, do we? Technically have this trend, but then we've got this weird choppy bullshit. So if you wanted to get in, it'd be a wide stop loss. You'd have to go pretty small, right? Or, you know, you could take your chance and this be a rejection, or we could go to lower time frames and you could do like a 2.7% stop above the highs. Obviously, like this would be our first target, but it's already retested twice, so it's probably going to break if it tests again, and then you would look down here at your next support. So that's probably as low as I'd look. Now, a lot of times when these break down, they sweep the low, so you could hold longer, but you guys, for me, usually I find this first I find a major resistance, I find a support, and then I just go from one to the other. So, Atom, potentially a good short here. If you're waiting, though, for like actual confirmation, which is usually best, you probably want to see a loss of these EMAs here. Lose the EMAs would probably be pretty good. What's up, you guys? Let's see. Happy to finally make a live stream. Happy to have you, Dave. Welcome, welcome. I got screwed yesterday. I shorted BTC and got stopped out just for it to die after. It felt so bad. Yeah, you guys, don't take it too hard. If you're using good risk management, you're going to get stopped out on shit. Price has been choppy lately. So I haven't even been trading that much, and you know, so if you're getting stopped out in this chop, it's totally okay. Just don't fight it. Just don't keep fighting it. Like if you get stopped out, just be like, all right, that's fine. On to the next one. Maybe I'll take the afternoon off. Maybe I'll put the charts away for an hour. Maybe I'll find a different asset to look at. But what you shouldn't be doing is fighting these and like re-entering a million times into the same position, thinking it's gonna go. Like if you get stopped out in your first one, just let it die. Like let it go. Like call it good, because there's nothing worse than getting in like 3 shorts here and getting stopped out on every one and then watching it drop, right? So one stop out happens. And if you're getting stopped out multiple times, it's usually because the market's choppy. So maybe that's a good indicator for you just to not trade this current conditions. But yeah, I mean, I've really been like one trade a day, maybe. Like, I just haven't been trading very much, especially on my scalp account. Like, the last 2 weeks, I've taken, like, maybe, like, 3 days I've taken a trade on my low time frame scalp account. And otherwise, I've been, like, just watching for a clear setup and some volatility. Because what happens is I want to, especially in these conditions, I'd rather trade after volatility than before it. Because if you trade before volatility, you get this shit. Okay, and it depends on your time frame. That was a 1 hour chart. But if I wait until after there's volatility, okay, there was volatility here, I could catch a trade, right? Okay, there's volatility here, I could look for a trade. Volatility here, I could look for a trade. Or, you know, I could look for a long here. Now I'm getting, like here, there's no really much volatility. Not really any volatility here. Now I'm getting some volatility, so I can look to trade that. And I've got all this volatility, so if I'm trying to trade, I want to trade the volatility. And then we get more chop here. I don't really want to trade this crap. Now we get volatility. Now I can look for a trade, okay? So you want to trade after the volatility, not before, in my opinion, because it's just ugly chop. So do what you want, though, but ultimately these conditions aren't that great. So be careful, you guys. I really want to short Adam here, but I'm probably going to wait for an EMA breakdown, especially if I'm doing it on high time frames. If I was looking at... Oh, shit. Sorry. Just spilled something. If I was looking at low time frames or at resistance, so you could look for maybe like a quick momentum short here. I might do a small one. We'll see. I'm going to try to get logged in here and see if I feel like catching a trade here. Got to be patient. If I get in a 0.5% late, it's fine. Let's see. Do I want to short this? We kind of want to wait. Sometimes I wait too. I'm like, all right, where's the momentum actually going? And we'll look at some time frames here. Boom, 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 boom. Apparently, I have to convert some funds because it's sitting in USDC instead of USDT. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Now we transfer. All right. Let's see if we feel like catching a trade here. I don't see any reason to short just yet. Let's see. Our 1 day is at resistance. Of course, you know. Let's go to the 6 hour. 6 hours. A little rejection there. 4 hours. High volume rejection coming in. OBV is looking pretty weak. So it's still a little choppy. We got a 30-minute. How much time is left? We got 7 minutes left. 30-minute bearish engulfing candle on high volume. So we have a really clear invalidation here for a low time frame position. Oh, hey, you guys. Apparently, I have a short from Big Ched's open, and I'm up 11%. That's hilarious. I followed Big Ched's. This is just random. I'm actually probably going to open an Atom short here quick. I feel like I'm like chasing, not chasing. I feel like I'm getting in a little later than I'd like to now, but we'll do a little 5x. We'll do a 10x action here. Why not? It's a good risk to reward. It's a tight risk. So basically what I'm looking at here is I don't want to see this high volume reclaim. So I just got in. I would have loved to get in a little bit higher, but you know what? It happens. And my initial target would probably be 1162 or even 1175 because, you know, we have this support here and here. Oh, that was a 1H candle too, you guys. So 1H bearish engulfing candle on high volume. OBV and top BinX aren't looking that strong. 15 minutes looking reject-y-ish. OBV is just kind of chopping. We got 15 minutes. Is this the 5-minute chart's working on a bearish engulfing candle up here. So if this reclaims, it may end up being a bad short. But if it holds, then this, you know, if this breakdown holds, then it's likely to continue lower here. But anyway, like I was saying, I have a short open on Euro. I don't even know what it is. On the Euro something. And I just literally followed Big Ched's on Twitter. And I did a small amount. I don't follow other people's trades with big amounts, obviously, and I need to have my own trade setups to, you know, go into my own trades. But anyway, so I just threw in a $500 50x position. I'm up 12% on it. So thanks, Cheds. Shout out to Big Cheds. Give him a follow if you haven't followed him already. He's a good guy. Really good trader. So we had that 5-minute bearish engulfing, so you can see why we're starting to drop. It looks like I had a little bit of slippage on my position, so I'm just above break even right now. But anyway, so it looks like an okay setup. We're kind of choppy. It's not like the best setup. I don't want to go like max size here, and because I could easily get chopped out here. But we have an okay. We have a 1H bearish engulfing candle. That's pretty much the highest volume here. So as long as this isn't reclaimed, if I can draw here, let me get a trend line. Yeah, Euro/CHF. What's the chef? I don't even know. So as long as this isn't reclaimed, and it gives me a really good risk to reward. So may as well rock this out. And then this would be like the first target, but honestly, depending on how higher time frames shape up, if we lose this 4H level, then our next support is down here at 1118, and then we go to the daily chart, and our next support level is basically like I said, like down here, like $10, $9. So, I mean, if I'm taking this is more of a low time frame position. Maybe I close a good chunk of it and let a small amount run. But like if you're looking at high time frames, you could try to sneak with a 2.5% stop loss here and hope it works out. You do risk getting stopped out on a tight stop loss on high time frames like that, but sometimes it works out. So anyway, taker and maker. You guys Google, somebody asked what taker and maker is. I always say it backwards, and my brain's too out of it to explain that today. But basically, if you're a maker, okay, I'm going to say it backwards, but basically one of them is you're setting a limit order, and then the other person's filling that limit order. So one of those is a maker, one of them is taker. And I for whatever reason, my brain just always says it backwards. So I don't want to confuse you guys. So Google it. Yeah, it's just one of those things where like I always say it backwards. I don't know why, but I always say the taker and the maker are the opposite people. So I think it's because when I was like new, I learned it one way, which was wrong. And then now my brain's just stuck with it. And then I can't remember without looking it up, like which is which. But look that up because basically like if you want to reduce fees, you can set limit orders on some exchanges and they'll pay you for setting limit orders, or you'll get reduced fees for setting those orders because they want liquidity in the books, and the more liquidity they have, the better the exchange looks, and the more action they can get from bigger traders. So anyway, yeah, so that's Adam, you guys. Who knows what'll happen? I'm gonna set a little alert here in case it pops up a little bit. And this is probably one where I'd honestly, if it starts to show any bit of strength, I'd probably just close it a small loss. But we'll see if we get that downside momentum here. Again, Top BingX is showing some bearish, momentum, but overall everything's just kind of choppy. So I don't really like going big in these conditions. If I'm gonna go a little bit bigger size, I would want a true breakdown. So I'd want to see like, I mean, I don't like this little BS thing here, but let me see if I can find a cleaner line. So like if I wanted to add a little, I don't like these lines here, but here's a high volume breakout right here, not here. I don't like this, but anyway, let's just say that this had a third touch here. I like it more than 2 touches, but anyway, so this is actually a decent trend line. So if I wanted to add a little bit of size, I'd rather see like something like a true breakdown, and then try to get it like maybe a little add, and then because that's more likely to drop from here than here, it could still chop. But if we really get this breakdown and go into a new range, then that's when you usually get more volatility. So, but hey, look, my short's up 1%. I'm rich now, you guys. I'm rich. I'm rich. I'm going to go buy a Lambo. Woohoo. Look at it. Dump. Let's go to the 1 second chart. Oh, look at it. It's nuking, you guys. It's absolutely nuking. Oh my God. Look at all that red. Woo, baby. Check it out. Wow. It's mega nuking. Oh, we're on the 5 second chart. Shoot. Let's go to the wow. Look at all that red. All right, I'm kidding. Obviously, I actually never look at 1 second charts. You guys don't do that. Don't ever look. You can't even see anything here. Like if somebody's trying to trade this, you're just asking to get wrecked. So anyway, got my daily wages again. Thanks. Nice. Yeah, some of you guys already closing your short. No wonder it's bouncing. You guys are closing your short on me. You're pumping the price on me, jerks. But yeah, I actually took that trade. So here's my 10x trade, you guys. I'm up $138. I'm rich. There's my Euro chef. It was actually $420. I thought it was $500. But yeah, this is BingX, you guys. That's where I took my short at. So pretty cool exchange. If you guys want to try it out, there's a link below you can use to check it out. I use the exchange a lot, actually, so it's pretty sweet. I've been working with them for years now, so yeah, they're solid, you guys. Maybe this would turn into a 2H evening star, which would be sweet. I don't want to see much buyback, though. I'd rather see this close, like, lower. So, I mean, it looks like we're just choppy shit right now, honestly. So, again, at this point, you guys, like, I know my stop loss was up here at the highs. Like, we've got a nice rejection. Like, if this just bounces at all, I'm at the point where I'm just like, if this gets above here, I'm probably just going to get the hell out at a tiny loss because it's just not worth me dealing with this chop and just getting chopped up in this BS and taking, like, full-size losses. Because at this point, if it starts to break up, it probably just pops, and even if it's a stop hunt, like, I'm still probably would get stopped out up higher. So, but we'll see what happens. For now, it's, we've got some nice little rejections here, and we've seen some increased selling volume come in, so that's a good sign. I mean, we're seeing some momentum swing towards the downside up here at the highs, which is what we want to see. So, anyway, pretty low risk now. You put a tight stop loss above this, like, 15-minute or something, because I think I originally had it above the 1H, so you could probably go a little bit tighter. But again, I didn't use a ton of size, so it's low risk regardless. I don't know how low the euro is going to go. I literally just hopped in on Ched's chart and saying he was shorting it, which like I said, I don't do that often, but again, it was just a small amount to throw in and see what happens. And I actually completely forgot about it. But yeah, so far, now it's up 8%. We'll just write it. It was a daily chart that he posted, so if it's a daily time frame, give it a few days to see if it starts to play out. Yeah, I'm glad you guys enjoy the live trading. Again, this isn't like a high confidence play right now. Like, could easily just close this for my $150 profit that I had and call it good, but like, it's not really worth it for me to close at a $100 profit here. I'd rather close at like $50 profit or $50 loss, or like break even and see if there's a possibility of this dumping and giving me, like, a $500 or $1,000 profit or something like that. That's a little bit more worthwhile. So overall, I mean, mostly just chop, you guys. Like, if you didn't get in, you're not going to want to get in now because it could easily bounce up. You're not going to want to go with size in these conditions. And you can see right now, I mean, Adam's kind of just following Bitcoin too, and Bitcoin's just chopping in this range. Now, do we have a breakdown? No, look at that hold, like perfect hold. So it just held the trend line here. It's a high volume breakdown, so I mean, it could just be a rebound here before lower. But it's just hard to say. Look, see, Adam's already bouncing, so now I'm down $80, and I'm really sad. Again, you guys, this is just choppy. If I lose $150, I'm not going to be too upset about it. But let's see. I just don't like trading these conditions very much without much volatility. So, we'll see. See, we got a high volume 5-minute candle, bullish candle, but we've got the bearish candle. So what that really does, you've got like a push and a pull. Like, we're looking way locally. We're looking way locally. And also we have this really high volume buy candle here. So this is going to be a key support to hold. And this is going to be a key resistance on a 5-minute chart right now. And you can see the chop is real. So what you're going to see here is this tight range, because what you have is a bearish signal here and a bullish signal here. So it literally just leads to basically a chop zone. And until this breaks, you could go in here for a while. You could wick on either side of this. And until this really gets a strong break, you're just going to see this chop continue. So, yeah, so I don't know what's going to happen here. Sometimes you just close those trades when they're in profit. If I went big, I probably would have closed just because this is choppy. But I went small, so it's like, it's a couple $100 loss here. We'll see if we get some action. And I'm already up on my stock account this morning, so we'll just see if my crypto account can follow or if we'll take a red. And I probably won't even enter another trade if this doesn't work out. Like, again, these conditions just aren't that great. And basically, Oh, shoot. Dropped my cat. Hold on. Ugh. And basically, if you've entered any trade in any direction over the last hour, you are back at break even if you've been holding it, right? So just not much action here. Nice high volume 5-minute candle. We actually reclaimed this, so this could bounce. But again, we're just in a choppy little range right now, so we don't have any clear signals other than back and forth BS. We had potentially a long opportunity here with this high volume, but that's on low time frames. But then look, even here we have low momentum on this bounce. Now it doesn't mean it's done, but we just have low volume on this bounce, so it's just really choppy, you guys. So I'll probably end up taking a loss on this, but we'll see. We'll see if it starts to break up here. So if it gets above this, then it's just going to have a little bit of momentum up to the highs, and I just don't feel like dealing with that. I mean, you could try to enter an Atom short here. It's just that somebody asked if it's a good time to enter. I don't know. I really don't. I mean, we caught the low time frame momentum for a quick drop when we initially entered, and I was like, well, we'll just see what happens. But I mean, like you can see Bitcoin's rejecting a little bit here. You guys, I don't know. It's just, again, we're just in chop zone right now. So it's hard to really predict what's going to happen in these chop zones. And a lot of times you see what happens is you get in a short and you get an immediate profit, or a long an immediate profit, and then it just goes back to the mid range. And our mid range, let's just see where our mid range is right now. So I feel like this is the bottom range and this is the top range. And we've got just some deviation. So you can basically see that this is a magnet right now, and it's probably going to pull us right back to this center magnet here. This is how I would draw the range with some deviations around the side. Yeah, I mean, we're just dead. I like this as a range. If you guys can see this, we got two double tops. We got a bunch of touches right here. You can slide up just a little bit. And we have like a small deviation below here and back in. And now we're just chopping around in this range, and you can see that we're being magnetized back to the middle range right now. So that's how these chop zones work. And right now, Atom's just following BTC. So Atom's not even doing its own thing right now. It's literally just doing whatever BTC is going to do. So like if I was momentum trading, like I could have, and you guys are delayed, so there's no way I'm going to be doing like 1 minute scalps on here because it's a delay. But like if I was momentum trading, I could have caught a quick scalp on this rejection, right? Like I would probably get in right here, and you know, even a 0.14% is 15% at 10x, right? And then I go to 3 minute and 5 minute and see if we get rejections. We had a nice EMA rejection here, right? Then 3 minute, we would want to see, like this would be first target on a scalp. 3 minute, we'd want to see it break below here. This is a high volume area here. So that's either a FOMO volume or a breakout. So if we close below, that becomes a FOMO breakout, or like a FOMO, like whatever you want to call it, a fake out. But if we hold this, then it could potentially be a support, and we bounce or break up higher or reject and go lower. So it gets a little murky. But if this breaks below, you know, so that would have been a nice just quick momentum scalp, because you get this rejection here after a quick move up at resistance, and then you just close at the next support, which is our EMA. So that would have made for, you know, like a 0.2% trade almost. So if you do 10x, that's 20%. So that's a solid quick in and out, and then you call it good. And you can see here, Atom just moving back to our midline. We're just kind of rocking out the low time frames today, you guys. So Atom always maintain momentum at room temp. Atom's been weird. I mean, it's lagging. If it's either lagging or an outlier, right? Because everything else is bullish or bearish, and Atom's been holding up well. But sometimes things that hold up well end up falling pretty quickly. So, you know, I mean, at this point, I'd probably just be content throwing a stop loss right here, right above this high. If you stop me out, you stop me out. I'm out of the chop at that point. Because right now, we just tap midline of this range that I drew. So, again, it's just, we could just moon here. We could dump here. We don't know. Everything's choppy. There's not really any true momentum right now. We're just hoping that Atom follows the rest of the market. And honestly, this could be one of those positions where I'm just like, you know what? Let's just throw a stop loss at 12.15, 12.16 and just see what the hell happens. If it dumps with the rest of the market, great. If not, it's a couple $100 loss and you move on. Like, you know, sometimes when the whole market's weak, throw in a short and it's kind of like risk exposure. Like, I'll have some risk here. Might as well have some risk with the trend. And if it doesn't work out, I'll take the stop. But if it works out, great. And it's usually a big win. Even like when the market's going up, right? And you're like, oh, I don't have any exposure. Let me just have some risk exposure just to be in. And you just throw some capital somewhere just so you're involved, you're in the markets. So, oh yeah, you guys, thumbs up. I appreciate the thumbs up on YouTube. Helps get my streams more in the algos or whatever. So thanks for that. Do I think Adam might be a case of a crowded short trade? I don't know. How are shorts? Like, is there a lot of shorts on it? Because right now I'm seeing a lot of buying. Like, it's been going up. So I don't know. But sometimes you just see laggards in the market. And again, we have this evening star pattern up here. This is a reversal pattern. So right now, this is an indicator of possible downside to come unless this is reclaimed. So anything below $13 area would be technically short the bounce. So that's how I look at it because we have this clear signal. Now we could go to weekly and look at weekly. I mean, that's an ugly rejection candle. It's not good on high volume as well. We're just getting a rebound right now. And actually, I mean, technically Adam is bearish right now. Look at our 99 SMA and our EMAs. So Gunnar EMAs are actually below the 99 SMA. And if you look, and that usually brings on good short opportunities as well. So you basically say short the bounce there, or for above, you long the dips. Of course, that's not 100% accuracy, right? But it works out well a lot of times, and you'll see ADA, similar situation. Okay, but on the daily chart, when ADA first flipped, Cardano, look at this. So when it first flipped, just like Adam is doing, you can see here it flipped below, everything flipped bearish, and then all the bounces were shorted basically, right? And we've seen this, and we've been in a downtrend ever since. So look at how clean of a trend this is. Gunnar EMAs above the 99 SMA right here. Back at 4 cents, 5 cents, Gunnar EMAs flipped above the 99 SMA. And they didn't both go below. Okay, we had one go below here for a little bear trap. And that's it. And they did not both go below until $1.60. So if you just traded this, and you guys can use Gunnar EMAs, it's a free script, okay? But if you just traded this based on Gunnar EMAs crossing over 99 SMA, now you would have maybe taken a loss here, which happens. Okay, but I would take this loss. Let's say I bought this dip here. Right? Let's say, oh, Gunnar EMAs are both broke above. I'm going to buy this dip on the touch. Oh, I got stopped out. Okay. That's fine because next time I do it, I made 4,000%. So you see why risk management's important? Because if you go all in here and get liquidated, and then you're like, oh, I should try that again, but I don't have any money. And then you miss out on 4,000% move. So, but that's what we're seeing on Adam right now on the weekly. So technically, this could be a good short to hold on to. Now, the market could still bounce. It's still the first day of the month, so anything goes. Literally anything goes. But you can see here the monthly, too, is right at a key resistance. So all signs point to Adam being an okay short. Doesn't mean it'll work out. Absolutely not. Does not mean that it'll work out. But we have some decent confirmations here on multiple time frames. Okay, we're back below this breakdown. And again, we're just basically choppy now. But that's kind of what we're seeing right now. So, and again, Adam could be a possible laggard. A lot of times when the whole market's red and looking ugly, I look for what's green and see, okay, is there a position here? Is there an opportunity here? Ooh, look at Matic. Why is Matic breaking out higher than everything? Maybe I should try to take a short scalp here, right? And that's what you would look for. Is this actually a breakout or is it a fake out? So let's see. Let's look at it here. Hold on. Oh, wrong thing. Oh, is that? Okay, Matic USDT. All right, so let's see if this. So this is a very high volume breakout right here, and we are bouncing at that support. So do I want to short now? No, I don't want to short now. 3-minute though, we have a bearish engulfing candle. Could I short that? Could I consider a short scalp here with a very, very tight stop loss? Could. Definitely could. Okay. It's pretty low sell volume. Top Goon X is getting close to maxed out here. 15-minute was kind of strong, but we've got a high upper wick, so it's kind of looking like you could short a bounce here. And where does 3-minute close? At 10:48. So we've got a few minutes left for that. I would say you could basically enter a short scalp here, and if it doesn't immediately drop, then you get out. You'd want to see some momentum start to go down. So we'll watch here. We'll watch. Let's see where momentum goes. We don't have much. We've got OBV looking okay here on the 30-minute. And we just have no volume here was the problem. So you basically could take a short scalp here with a stop loss like immediately above and hope it retraces this whole breakdown. Otherwise, you kind of wait and you go, okay, I want to see this 5-minute flip. And if that 5-minute flips, then I'm going to feel much better about this because that's a lot of longs trapped underwater. So that's kind of what I would do. I don't see any indication to short quite yet. You could technically try to long this and hope it breaks out. But again, overall market conditions have been pretty bearish. The trend has been bearish. So sometimes it's risky and these end up being FOMO pops. But if you wait for confirmation, then you're better off. And again, we have a large upper wick here. I mean, the upper wick is almost half of this candle. So it's like 55% of this candle is upper wick. So that's not good. That doesn't mean it's not as bad as it could be, right? But it's still not good. So you want to see if we start to reject here. And basically, you could probably take a short here, especially if this ends as a bearish engulfing. So I might enter a small short here and see what happens. And if it goes up here, then I would just close. I'm not going to mess with this chop. And then I could get back in, probably a little bit bigger size, if it breaks below here, okay? For now, get in a small little short. Let's get a feel for the position. I call them feeler shorts. I call them a feeler position. So we don't really have any confirmation, but we think that it's going to drop here, right? We do have some high volume rejection coming in, so that's good. And it could just be following Bitcoin like everything else is doing right now. But let's see. So we don't have any momentum yet. We've got the 3-minute bearish engulfing candle. We also have a really high, large wick there. And now we have the 3-minute close below. Doesn't mean it's going to work out. We'd want to see this immediately drop here. If it doesn't, then it probably gets bought up and at least retests the high here. So probably get ready to close soon at like a $30 loss, right? Like no big deal. But again, we're rejecting maybe. We want to see some momentum come in. Whoops, wrong button. So I don't have any momentum here. I really need to see a drop like ASAP. Otherwise, again, I'm down $15 right now. So I'm going to be okay. And again, this is just a filler position to see if we maybe have a top here. But we don't have any confirmation unless this 5-minute breaks down here. Then I would say, okay, I feel better about this going down to at least this breakout here. If it breaks down from there, then we've got a real short on our hands. For now, there's no momentum, so I'm going to be ready to cut this here probably as soon as I see more green. If this goes green, I'm just going to probably be ready to cut this. And it literally could just be following Bitcoin. Okay? But again, I get a small feeler. The fees on BingX are dirt cheap anyway. So if I have to close this, it's going to be a $30 loss probably total, which is totally fine. I can totally handle that. But I do want to see this start to drop here, so let's see. If it goes up here, I could set a stop loss here. I usually just do manual because I can literally just click close and mark it out pretty quickly. But let's see what happens here. If Bitcoin could help me out here by dropping, that would be nice. Adam's short looks like it's probably in a little bit of profit. We see Matic starting to drop now. I mean, so we've got this breakdown here, right? And we've got this bearish engulfing candle. We're retested, now we're rejecting. So we just hope that that bearish engulfing candle holds as a rejection. And again, I'm down $15 still. So if it starts to see green here, I probably just close because I don't really have a clear setup here. I'm just kind of saying, all right, this looks like it might reject, and I'm kind of guessing, right? Like I'm kind of guessing this is a fake pop out. I don't have like true crazy good confirmation yet. So I want to see some momentum come in my favor sooner rather than later, which I'm starting to see here. Now I'm up $20. 15-minute would be a nice double rejection if we get it. And now we've got kind of a little mini range here. And I could pretty much, like, at this point, you guys, I'm closing if it doesn't drop. Like, I'm just going to close if we get some buying power here. Again, we're just choppy. We have no momentum, no volume right now. Nobody's interested in trading Matic except for me, apparently. And it could just be following Bitcoin. It could just be following Bitcoin. But Atom is dropping a little nice. And sometimes, you guys, let's say, like, if I went full size on both these shorts, let's say that I got stopped out on Matic and my Atom shorts in profit, I could say, you know what? Look, I don't know if Atom's going to keep dropping. I can close Atom here for profit to cover my loss on Matic. So that's something you can always look at, too. But now we've got a nice scalp, and we're up almost $100, so that's pretty cool. And again, this is just on a small position. So I want to see this breakdown now, and we've got a nice 15-minute rejection brewing here. And I'm probably, honestly, going to just close this here in a second. Let me see. So now at this point, I can put my stop loss at break even because, again, I got in up here. I don't know what the hell is going to happen technically. I mean, I want to see a 5-minute close below here. How much time's left? We've got a lot of time left till the 5-minute close. OBV is kind of consolidating. So I could put a stop loss even above this breakdown now. Okay. But let's see if the 1-minute close, again, we have a close below this high volume breakdown, which is good. We're up 8% on this short now. And we're approaching this support. So this is probably a good spot to close. I'm going to go ahead. Man, we've got some nice, decent momentum coming in now. I still just don't think I feel like holding this. This could be the top. But I'm going to go ahead. I'm up $200. I'm going to close that out. That's going to cover my Atom short now. So basically this Atom short becomes risk-free. So if Atom, and again, this is a decent, to go a little bit lower here, I'd still like to see a 5-minute close below. But if my Atom short gets stopped out now, I'm covered. So I'm break even, net even on this account if I get stopped out for the day. So I'm happy with that. Nice little scalp. And again, we went from resistance to support. Now I'm at support. So I didn't have a true setup. I went from, like I said, resistance to support, and I'm out now. So hope you guys enjoyed that. Oh, shit, Gunner's down $15. I can't believe you forgot rule number 1, risk management. Eric, have fun staying poor, Eric. Eric missed the trade. Have fun staying poor. I'm just kidding, Eric. We love you. Thanks for joining. But yeah, you guys, we caught 2 scalps on stream today, so that's pretty neat. I don't usually scalp on stream. This might be like the first time, actually, in a long time or ever that I've caught some scalps on stream. You can see here, look at this 1H. We'll see how this closes, but this could close as just a high volume rejection, fake out, wick thingy. That's a technical term, wick thingy. But then you'd ultimately want to see this break down. If that breaks down, it's just on to Nukeville. So Atom's kind of just still chopping around. Bitcoin's still kind of chopping around. We got some nice rejections on Bitcoin, though. So we don't want to enter any new trades now. Maybe not at all today. But my risk is basically reduced now. I've got profits locked in on my stock account from earlier today. And my crypto account is basically net even on the day if I take a loss on Atom. So I'm in a great position as a full-time trader today anyway on real profit, a net profit day. So set short stops to Sailor's sentencing date and walk away. Do these EMAs work on lower time frames? I mean, yeah, we're literally using them on lower time frames. So Gunner EMAs, you guys, you can always check them out. I like Gunner EMAs. I mean, I literally made them, so I should like them. But yeah, Gunner EMAs, it's 1122 EMA. You can use it. It's a free script. But yeah, got out of Atom 4%. Nice, good job, congrats, well done. How do you draw this perfect vertical line with the draw tool? You guys take the draw tool here and you hold the shift button down on your keyboard. It'll do perfect lines. Bam, 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 bam. It'll do 45 degree and flat or up. Bam. So So that's how you do that. Bark said, "I'm late. I'm disappointed in myself." Yep, you gotta get here on time, you guys. That's what all the people get for being here on time. Matic is still dumping a little bit. Did the 5-minute close yet? Yeah, it did. There you go. The 5-minute close below, so it's likely a fake out. I really didn't have much. What's the word? I really didn't have much signal to close this short technically, but I just literally played it from from resistance support and called it good. And that's what I do sometimes on my scalps. I'm like, look, I don't really have a clear setup, so I'm just going from here to here because I think that's where momentum will take us. The gnat over there, and then aside from that, I'm like, I don't know, like, who knows? So then I get out and look for the next setup. So like that 5-minute setup could potentially have given me a setup, but it's at support, so I don't like that. But again, if I get like a 1H breakdown or a 30 or 15-minute breakdown of these high volume areas, that's going to give me some more confirmation for shorts. But we did well. And again, I haven't looked at high time frames. All we did was look at like 5 and 15-minute charts. So if I'm doing low time frames, I need to understand what time frame I'm trading on, and I need to get out quicker. Like I can't look on a 5-minute chart and expect to hold a trade for a month or a week from a 5-minute chart. Okay. I like these upper wicks on Atom. I mean, at this point, I could get easily chopped up and stopped out on Atom, but we're net even for the day after this, basically. So I can just put my stop loss above these wicks, hope they hold, assume they hold, whatever you want to call it. And if I get stopped out, it's whatever at this point. So what would I normally expect after a 5-leg up or 5-day leg down, then an ABC correction? I don't know anything about Elliott waves. I'm sorry. I don't know what a 5-leg up or ABC correction really is. I mean, I do, but I don't. Like, I don't follow that stuff. Oh, nice. Awesome, Bark. Well, good. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream, you guys. We'll do a few more minutes. Somebody asked me to look at BNB, so we'll do that. We'll do that for you. That'll be $500 for the request. You can Venmo me, but I'm just obviously kidding. Well, as you can see, I mean, we went into bearish trend here on this line I already have drawn. This was the breakdown, and that was made for a great short. Ah! Come on, let me get rid of this shit. Okay. Obviously, that would have made for a great short, and now we're basically no volume and just looks to me like a dead cat bounce. And I mean, this is the highest volume area right here. Let's highlight the highest volume area locally because, look, for the last year, we have one high volume week, which is right here. Okay? And look what happened. We rejected right at that level. And then not only that, we're now below this big breakout candle, which is basically the biggest candle there. And we rejected here. So what am I going to do here? Well, obviously, I'm not going to do anything. But what we have here is most likely to go back to support. So we're just playing this resistance to support area. So we have a big support here. So we've got some support levels in the way. And then basically our next support level is somewhere around here. So I'm going to just draw this as a little zone. So I would feel like confidence-wise, like most likely to retest this level, like pretty likely, like right around in here. That's pretty likely, like 250s area. But I would say it's got a decent chance of reaching this level too, because again, we rejected at big resistance. We got this resistance level. So we're basically going from resistance to support now. And the key support and resistance I see locally are basically here. So, and this is sliced through. This level is basically sliced through both times. We slice through, so it's just probably going to slice through again and go back to the key level where there's some semblance of support built, right? And we have the 99 SMA there. We're technically not overall fully bearish on this chart like we were on, Atom or whatever other chart we looked at, because the Gunnar EMAs are still above the SMA. But very likely that, I mean, it looks to me pretty likely to start dropping back to this level, to low 200, like below 250. So on the day is 270 not support. I mean, I see resistance ahead right now. So I just see this as a fake out right now and a breakdown. Like we close below this, then that's the biggest candle here locally, and we close below it. So that just tells me that longs are underwater. So yeah, you guys, that's that. Sol just looks like absolute garbage. Like this just looks freaking terrible. It almost looks it's not really a Head and Shoulders, but it's kind of got like similar characteristics, right? Like you've got the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder, but it's not. I wouldn't call this a Head and Shoulders, but what I would call this is garbage. No, I'm just kidding. I would call this a bear flag or a rising wedge or whatever you want to call it. And it breaks down and it looks like shit now. And we're right at the precipice. I don't even know if that's a real word. We're at the precipice of death. So it doesn't look good here. We have some decreasing volume, which is why we bounced a little bit. Like if we had increasing volume to this, we'd probably just keep nuking. We had decreasing volume, so momentum stalling a little bit. We got a little bounce to this resistance, but it looks like absolute garbage. I mean, this looks pretty likely. Now, technically, if you do a pennant here, a flag here, you would go from the pole to the breakdown. Your target would be $10. That's a valid target, actually. But I don't know if it'll go that low, but it definitely could. I would be looking, again, I usually go from support to resistance, right? So, like, this is the next support level I see. So if I was trading that breakdown, I'd probably just try to catch it down to here, but I'm not the best at holding my positions for long periods of time. So I don't even know if I'd hold that. But anyway, Top Goon Forex buy incoming just printed on what? On Bitcoin? Oh, it did. That's not good. On the way down? That's a weird signal. I don't know. Sure, we could bounce, but we have a breakdown here as far as I see it. So, I mean, it doesn't usually give these alerts on red candles. So I don't know, actually. It did on this one too. And look what happened. Yeah, that's interesting. Wouldn't even know, like this wouldn't even like fit my criteria for drawing a fib levels. So I wouldn't even really be able to trade this one, honestly. Oh, I'm getting alerts about Adam. Cross 1211. I didn't know I had an alert set for that. Okay. I mean, this just doesn't look good. It's a bearish engulfing candle. I will say you could flip bullish right here, though. So if Bitcoin breaks above 20,070-ish, that's when you could flip bullish easily. For now, though, you got to stay. You can't. I mean, you don't have to. I don't like using the term bullish and bearish, but it's what makes most sense to people. But for now, I mean, we have a bearish breakdown. So for now, I would say this is bearish, but we're kind of at support. So like you don't want to get overly bearish at support. But again, this looks like a bearish breakdown and likely to go lower. Does that mean it will? Absolutely not. OBV does not look good. It's breaking down. But I couldn't long here. There's absolutely no reason that I could long this unless it reclaims 20 whatever. And then that would likely give me some quick momentum up to like 21K area or 2080 or something like this. And that's where I could long. But I can absolutely not look for longs unless we break above there or go lower. And that's just my trading style and my strategies. What about daily Bitcoin buy alert? So the Bitcoin daily buy signal is still technically valid, but we've seen momentum actually drop back into this yellow zone, which is not a good sign. Because I believe the last time we got this, and we gave us 2 on the Bitstamp chart, but look at the last time we got this buy alert, we didn't see momentum go below the yellow, and I don't think either time. Like here again, we saw momentum. Like look at this, momentum went up on this one, and this is Bitstamp, so I don't use Bitstamp, but what we saw here was momentum go up, and we got a little bounce, and then it went back into the yellow, and we went much lower. And then we got it again, and momentum stayed above the yellow, and that's when we went on bull run. And again, we had the same thing here. We got the buy approaching, momentum stayed above yellow and took off. But now you can see here, both times. Well, this one never came out of yellow. But again, I wouldn't count this one because we didn't get it on both charts. Like I like to use Bitstamp or Binance more, but again, look, this one came up and out and came back in. So that's usually saying that it's weekend momentum and it's not a good sign. So usually that means we go lower. But again, the technicalities of this are the alert was given here. So we ride this impulse. Okay. And we're holding above the 1.337 fib. So this is the key fib to hold. If we break, excuse me, we break below that, everything gets ugly, and Bitcoin goes to zero, and we all cry to our mommies. And yeah, so we don't want to see that lose, but if we do lose that, then we might get some good buy opportunities, maybe around 15K or 16K or lower. Oh, what leverage do I normally use for scalping or day trading? Ignore leverage and worry about position sizing and risk, because your leverage doesn't matter. You could use a $500 position at 10x or a $5,000 position at 1x, right? Like, it's the same thing. So leverage is irrelevant. It's more about your risk and your overall portfolio, and I have a ton of YouTube videos for that, you guys. So anyway, what's going on? Let's see the comments. I got a few more minutes. What do you guys want to talk about? Oh, my office should be back together in like maybe a few weeks, you guys. Got the drywall done. Got it painted. We have carpet coming in next Thursday. And we have my handyman is going to do trim. I usually do my own trim, but I'm getting lazy at this point. After having a kid, I just feel like lazy or something. I don't know. I just don't feel like doing stuff around the house as much. So I just hire I have a guy that does a really good job, though. He's like a good friend of mine. He does a lot of good stuff. So he's going to do the trim. And then I'll be able to get my office set back up. I'm excited for that because I don't like sitting in random middle of my basement. So what do I think of the volume here at 20K? I don't really give a shit about the volume here, honestly, you guys. It's more interest. People are taking more interest here. But, I mean, it's just looking like trend continuation. It's the same as Sol. Like, look, we had a rising wedge or a bear flag breakdown or whatever. And look, we're on the weekly chart, Bitcoin's finally going bearish. I mean, so I feel like this is a possibility. Like 16K, 28K, I don't know. Like, that's just me guessing. But, like, we saw on ADA when it broke down. Look at this. Let's see. Where's ADA? These short squeezes can be savage, but basically what we saw on ADA, look at this. We saw it bearish cross, right? And we got a bounce initially, and then we nuked, and we got another big bounce, and nuked again, and we got another big bounce, and then completely like nuked. But Bitcoin could kind of maybe do the same thing once we get this. So maybe we nuke a little bit, get a big bounce, nuke a little. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen, but it's just hard. That's why I like trading counter trend sometimes, you guys, because counter trend can be really just as profitable, if not more, because counter trend moves can be so fast. Like you saw with ADA, like those bounces were epic, right? These counter trend bounces happen faster than the actual trend. Like big bounce, death. Big bounce, death. Like, but a lot of this is just slow bleeding, and then a fast bounce, and you get out. And then slow bleed, and then fast money, and then slow bleed, and then fast money, right? Like, it's just, sometimes that's why I like, on lower time frames especially, I like catching counter trend moves instead of moves with the trend. So when something's going up, if I miss it already, sometimes I like to just short the bounce, because it can usually be really quick rebound. So, how would I trade the F merge? I wouldn't. I don't trade FA, so when there's big events coming up, I stay out. A great example of that, which is, good or bad, I don't know how you want to say here, but this really nice monthly rejection here on MDB. Okay, very nice monthly rejection. I actually posted this yesterday or the day before. Beautiful monthly rejection. So I would look to short this, and I would hope I would get any little monthly bounce, but I can't short this because if I go to the daily chart, I have earnings here, and I just didn't want to trade earnings. And they must have had earnings last night after the bell. But I didn't want to trade earnings because you just never know. Like, even if this isn't a bearish trend, it gets really good earnings. Maybe it pops and then it nukes. So it's just for risk management purposes. It just never makes sense to trade FA earnings end of the month. Like, if I'm already in a position, like if I was in a position from way up here, okay, maybe I keep holding, or maybe I close a little bit to de-risk before. But it's like with low time frames. Like if I'm scalping a 5-minute chart and I've got a 4H close incoming on a chart like if I've got a 4H close incoming in 2 minutes, I'm not going to enter a 5-minute trade because the 4H close could close bearish if I'm in a short and then still pop up for a quick rebound on the open and then stop me out. So, yeah. So that's basically that. Do we have a diamond pattern on 15-minute Atom? Oh, that's not Adam. Oh, this is. Oh, there you guys. I kind of mentioned this right at the beginning. We had the little morning star here on BBY on Best Buy. The little morning star patterns holding up, and then we were kind of flipping bullish here. I was actually monitoring this before we went on live stream because I was gonna try to catch a long maybe. But you can see here we're starting to flip these EMAs too. We're starting to try to be bullish here, just a little bit. Now we still need to break further. Oh, let me get this. Still need to break. Ooh, maybe we are bullish. So I could start considering longs here. It's a little risky still. But I could start potentially considering longs here on a dip. But 1H, I would like to see the 1H flip back above 710, which would give me really good confirmation. I'd feel really good if the 1H flipped above there. We'd go, boom, boom, boom. Like, maybe not that high, but even like 71.29 would be a good EMA target. So I can start looking for low risk long on this. I don't really have too much confirmation yet. But, you know, this could bounce here potentially. So maybe just do a small size. Now that we flipped the EMAs here. And then that setup would look something like, you know, probably, I would want this to probably be a higher low, and I would want this breakout to hold. So I could do like a 0.5% risk for like, initially like a 1.5% reward, which is 3 to 1, or I could consider the possibility of going higher for like a 2%. So that's how that would look. Anyway, somebody asked about Adam, and then I'm going to probably take off. 15-minute diamond. I do not see a diamond here because I don't have... I kind of see what you're saying, but not really. I mean, I don't see a diamond here because this is like more like a double top. That's how I see this. And then particularly have your double top breakdown here. And your target would be kaboom, retest, so, you know, back down to here. So Adam short's going pretty well, though, actually. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, we're up $220 on that Adam short. So that's neat. Yeah, on BingX. You guys, if you want to try out BingX, there's a link below. You know, I think they just added something where you can get like $4,000 of bonuses through there or something. So if you want to check it out, obviously I appreciate if you use my link. You're not obligated. The stream is completely free for you guys. I just want you guys to have good content. Honestly, good education, good realistic content. You know, like talking about invalidations and confirmations rather than just, oh, I think this is going to go up. This is really bullish. Let's long. Everyone buy this. Let's just all go buy. And then you just keep holding, and eventually it'll go up. I hate that shit. So, anyway, thanks for joining, you guys. I appreciate you. I'll keep updates going on Twitter. I'm actually done trading for the day off my morning trade. I did enter a quick little long here on Best Buy, and honestly, I know I showed stop loss here. I probably close it if it goes like, I don't know. I want to see momentum continue up. I think I should be in a slight bit of profit now. Oh, yeah, I'm up $50. And again, I went small here. I don't like trading large against the trend often unless I have very, very, very good confirmations on something that I really, really like. But now we have a decent little trying to flip. Maybe an inverse head and shoulders here. So should see some momentum come up, hopefully. But again, look at what I'm longing. I'm literally like longing death down here, so it's always a little risky. But sometimes these counter trend plays get nice little quick pops. So F4H descending triangle. Okay, last check. Let's see. F4H descending triangle. No, I kind of see what you're saying, but again, let's just simple it down, and this is a 4H bearish engulfing candle. Simple as that. If it reclaims this support somehow, but otherwise we got to break down a retest, but it's breakdown to support. So you're going to be better off probably shorting if this breaks down. If this breaks down here, then you're going to be better off shorting to probably this support here. But otherwise, everything's just kind of choppy chop. Adam short's doing well. We're up 7% almost now, so that's pretty neat. We're up 0.2% on Best Buy long, so that's going okay. And if we get a nice strong breakout here, I'd probably just want my stop loss to be like pretty tight to low. So this just is going to be a low risk position at this point anyway. I don't really want to see momentum go against me much, because what happens is if you try to catch a, what's the word I'm looking for? A counter trend. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. If you're trying to catch a counter trend move, sometimes people are like, oh, it's just a red candle, it'll be fine, it'll still go up. And it's like, oh, now it's dropping. And then, oh, shit, there goes the momentum. Like, they hold too long and they don't have like a stop loss or an invalidation. And they don't realize that it's not actually going to be a counter trend move. It's just it's a small counter trend move, and then it's continuation of trend. So a lot of times people just get absolutely wrecked on those. So I like to, if I start to see some momentum, I'm like, okay, I want to see the momentum continue now, because if I see the momentum go against me, then I'm like, maybe I'm wrong about this being a real counter move, and maybe there's just no momentum behind it. So yeah, so I probably close this pretty quick if it starts to break down. If I take a tiny loss, it's okay. But for now, we have some low volume, but we have a little bit. I mean, we definitely have a trend breakout here on decent volume. So just don't want to see it go below like that 69.40 area. So maybe, just maybe, if we start to get a little bit of momentum here, we'll see a nice pop to at least 70. And if we can get above 70.10-ish, like I mentioned before, we'll start to see some real momentum come in. So anyway, you guys, thank you for joining me. I appreciate you. Yeah. That's all I got for you. Have a good day. I'll keep you updated on Twitter. I've got a new YouTube video I got to make today or tomorrow. Yeah, catch my latest YouTube video if you haven't. All my stuff on there is golden. Please subscribe to my YouTube, you guys, if you haven't already. I appreciate it. I'm getting close to 30,000 subscribers. So thank you again, everyone. Let's hope that this moon's here for me, because right now I'm up 0.13% now. So anyway, have a great day, guys. We'll catch you later. Peace. 3% now. So anyway, have a great day, guys. We'll catch you later. Peace.